Seems to rain on these Mama rally days, doesn't it?
Illinois, the Chicago area had a third of an inch of rain in all of September, and a few days out of September, we have a rally and it rains. It never fails.
It never fails. Well, we're here in the back roads of Joliet with Ed Curran, Chicago's foremost forecaster, and I know you didn't forecast this rain, but here it is.
I didn't. I know. It's going to get progressively better as the day goes on. That's the good news. But, yeah, it's kind of wet out here this morning. We got to put up with this.
Ed, what are we in here? What are we driving today?
This is a Stelvio, and that's the name of this new Alfa Romeo luxury SUV. This is kind of a smaller to mid-size SUV. And the Stelvio, if you've heard of the Giulia from Alfa Romeo, which is the fantastic little sports car they came out with, the Stelvio is kind of the SUV version of it. It's built on the same platform. This has about 280 horsepower and does 0 to 60 in about a little over 5 seconds. We won't go to 60 here. We're in dynamic mode here, so it's a little sportier. We won't go to 60 because we don't want to get a ticket, not on tape, to look bad. It's so far, I mean, it's a great feeling car. You know, the Quadrifoglio is just a wonderful little sports car, but everybody wants SUVs. So if you can take the characteristics of the Quadrifoglio and the Alfa Romeo name and put it into an SUV, that may make more people who like the Quadrifoglio but can't imagine a car that small that's a sedan kind of car. You know, they want the SUV. This is the version of it, and it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it here in the little bit that we've driven with it. I will say the brakes aren't real aggressive on it. The acceleration is, as I said, 0 to 60 in a little over 5 seconds, and the Giulia, the base Giulia, does 0 to 60 in maybe almost a half second quicker, but this is a much heavier car, much larger car. But it's got a nice feel to it. It's giving us a little alert that I went over the line here. And boy, isn't that the greatest thing, though, in these days of distracted driving, that we have all this great technology to help save our lives out here.
Well, it is amazing. The technology has taken an uptick of tremendous proportions here in the last few years, hasn't it?
It really has. You know, I'll get a car to test and I'll back into my driveway and there's some vegetation at the back of the driveway, and all of a sudden I get to that vegetation and the car slams on the brakes, you know, because it thinks there's something there that's going to hurt me in the car, and it's just some plants. I mean, the ability for cars to keep you from hitting the car in front of you because you're drinking your Starbucks or you're adjusting your radio or something, the ability to put this bubble of safety around you is really remarkable.
Well, Ed, we're allowed to examine quite a few cars, being members of the automotive press. And how do you feel about the status of the cars these days? I mean, you drive a lot of test vehicles. Where are we compared to 10 years ago in the quality and the variety of vehicles you see?
Yeah, I think quite honestly, as the technology trickles down to lower priced cars, you see cars getting better and better. It seems to me that if you go back a number of years, you had some really wonderful cars and you had some really lousy cars. Now, there are many cars that are very nice, even though they're lesser priced. In other words, I don't think you have as wide of a gap between nice cars and you don't have the real lousy cars anymore, it seems to me. I think things have just generally gotten much better with technology and with cars and the way they feel and the way they drive, and there's just some marvelous vehicles out here at all price ranges.
Now, Ed, how many cars do you have in your fleet?
My fleet at home? We're down to 2 right now after turning back in our diesel Volkswagen. So I'm down to 2 right now, and one is an SUV and one is a minivan. So very utilitarian cars.
Well, that's what family life is in America today, isn't it?
Yeah.
An SUV is very popular. It comes in many forms and many sizes, but it's a very useful vehicle.
And I tell you, my wife and I are beyond the time where we have to be carting around kids in the back of the van.
Sure.
But our van, with the buckets in back, the center seat comes out, is just the most wonderful vehicle for our tandem bicycle. We go out biking, we take the tandem, and with the tandem that we have, you can just put the entire car, the entire bike in the back of the car and not have to disassemble anything. And I'm hard-pressed to find another vehicle that I can do that with. So as we look at replacing the van, which has 165,000 miles on it now, with another car, boy, we don't need a minivan. But it's tough for me to find something else that meets those needs, that's a lower height for the dogs to get in. We have 2 dogs, and can accept the entire bicycle in the back, the tandem bicycle, you know, so it's a great car for us.
Well, thanks for joining me on this little tour of the Autobahn track today, and I think we both had a pretty good impression of the Alfa.
I think we did a pretty good impression of the Alfa Romeo STELVIO here, which is the SUV version of the Quadrifoglio. About 285 horsepower, I think. 0 to 60 in about 5.1 seconds. And pretty fun vehicle if you like the fun of an Alfa and a Joliet, but you want an SUV.